Hi guys, and welcome along to another course vlog here at Freshwater Bay, and as you can see we are finally away from the winter tees here. So the part 3 here is just slightly different to what we're used to. We're a bit further right than we would ordinarily be in the course vlogs of the past. 135 yards ish to the pin, and we've got a 9-iron in hand, and it's a bit of a scuttly shot there. I'm going to explain something here though. This is the second round of the day. I've already played 18 at this point. I had a problem with the GoPro through the course of the first round and decided to come out again having a not very good first attempt. We scored a 91 the first round out, and obviously trying to pick things up in this round here, and we start things off with a par straight out of the gate, and hopefully we can continue that type of form as we carry on through the course of this vlog. Hole 2 is a par 4, and unfortunately a bit of a WITB draw down the left hand side of the fairway. Now got a 6-iron in hand, too far out really to be getting to the green, just trying to get it up on that left hand shelf, but unfortunately we get a bad kick as the ball gets towards the green, and unfortunately we run out and are going to end up short-sided for the third shot into the green itself. So here we are, 56 degree wedge in hand. Try to get this tighter to the pin than I'd ordinarily go for, but taking the third shot in, I thought there was some risk worthwhile taking. Lag putt, drifts on by quite a considerable pace, and you'll notice throughout the course of this vlog as well, the greens have been treated and they're running really funny this day. Some greens are really quick, some are really slow. I couldn't really dial in my pace throughout the course of the round, but nonetheless, as you'll see as we get carried on, it's not the worst round I'm ever going to have. It's just a bit of a scramble. So 7-iron there, and a bit of another wipey sort of cutty shot to try and keep it out of the wind, because the wind has picked up on this round. Unfortunately, the bounce was short of the green, which, as we know on this green, everything bleeds away, so you can't stop it if you get it on this green. So landed it just short, just like that putt, and again we're getting out of here with a par though. Next par 4 here, 310 yards up the hill, driver in hand. Let's go. Decentish effort, runs out quite some distance, but I was starting to feel it in my back at this point, having played so much golf in one day, and for the next few holes I'm going to have to ease out of it a little bit. That gap wedge there is just a sneaky push down the right hand side, and we get a really awkward bounce off the hill, which pushes it wide of target and off the back edge. So gap wedge back in, and that again is a very, very good chip from the back there with the gap wedge, just keeping it lowly flighted up to the pin, cozy it on up there, and in for another par. So another hole here that's a different prospect from the main tees, not the winter tees. We're a bit further back, a bit further right, and again didn't really cover the ball there and blow it slightly wide to the right, You'll know from my other course vlogs that I usually end up left on this hole, so at least it's a different approach that we've taken. Unfortunately, that is too big, and I didn't get the next one because we were wedged off the other side of the green. So we've already taken 3 up until that point. A putt gets us up close, and unfortunately that is a double bogey. So a bit of a mixed bag to start the round. A few double bogeys, a few pars, and here we are on hole 6, the long par 4, which is stroke index 1, and that is up and out of there, quite a way right. And as we get up there, you can see that we are on the footpath, or we're actually in the tracks. Now, it's a difficult one because technically you can take a drop from that position, or so the rules kind of suggest. Tennyson Trail, which is where we are, is kind of a drop area, but I'm on grass, so let me know in the comment section down below what you would have done there. Would you have taken a drop, or would you have done what I did and just played out of there and took the medicine for a poor placement of the original shot? The shot itself ended up off down the left there, and unfortunately we are not having the best of time on this particular hole, and there we go. That just sums it up as I look back at the camera. We take another double bogey. Another par 4 here, stroke index 7, 412 yards. Ideally the shot you want is in between those 2 mounds that you can see in the distance. And I've slowed this one down because, as you can see, I get a massive stroke of fortune, hit well down onto the ball, and get a really big kick, which sends the ball off down the fairway. It does leak left, as you can see from here, but we got a massive portion of luck in that scenario. 7-iron, just trying to pump this back down into play. Unfortunately, we caught the top of the hill on the right hand side, and we've got the 8-iron here in hand. And again, a bit of a wipey shot. What I've been doing over the course of the last couple of rounds is try to dial out some of my draw bias, and I've got this now sort of 2-way miss because now I also miss to the right. So I think I'm just going to go back to the draw and obviously compensate for it. That was a really nice bump into the green there, and I know we're checking out here with a bogey, but I think we kind of steadied the ship a little bit, having had a rotten time on the previous hole. Previous 2 holes, in fact. Moving out to hole 8, 436 yards, similar kind of scenario to the last time. You want to really be down the right hand side of the fairway, and today everything I'm hitting is turning over left. Did land in the middle of the fairway, but once again we're going to find that it's run out down the left hand side. I've got the 7-iron in hand, and again kind of get a bit handsy with it and send it right down onto the fairway, coming up the 11th. Gap wedge here, and wind kind of pulls that ball across to the left hand side, and we've got a really tricky shot now off the side of the hill because of where the pin position is, but cozy on up nice and close. Really enjoyed that shot. And again, we are checking out with a bogey. Right, so here we are on the last hole of the front 9. Still got the camera zoomed in on this one, so apologies, but you are getting a good view of the ball here as we make the strike. And again, we've got kind of that left-hand hooky draw, and it was more of a lower one than the shot tracer showed, but we've still got the gap wedge in, and what a gap wedge it is. Fire this one in towards the green, and as you'll see when we get up there, just a few feet to the hole and a chance at a birdie. Just sniffs the edge but doesn't fall. We will take a par. So here we are then convening at the halfway house. The card for the front 9, 4 pars, not to be sniffed at all, but those 3 double bogeys do really let us down. So let's get on into the back nine here on hole 10, a 306 yards, kind of the flattest hole on the course almost, certainly of distance anyway, and I've managed to pull the drive to the left again. Kind of got it figured out what's wrong with the swing at the moment, so hopefully we can sort that out on the next round. But happy to be scrambling around in this kind of scoring pattern, to be perfectly honest. And that's a duffed hit there with the wedge. So we've had a drive, a 7-iron and a wedge and still not on the green. And then I've sprayed this one to the right as well, just for good measure. So I was hoping to kind of keep the score pretty respectful on the back nine, and already we're going to be looking at a double bogey, unfortunately, on this one. So here we go, moving in to consecutive par 5s. The first one a 480 yard stroke index 6, and again a bit of a wipey left fade draw. 7-iron in hand, just trying to get this thing up and out there. Wind is right in my face at this point, so he's obviously going to make these holes play much longer than they would do on a nice summer's day. 7-iron again, just trying to get it down there, get us in a position to at least try and score a decent finish on the hole. 56 degree wedge, that goes in there nicely. Has left us with a long putt though, but it is pin high, so you can't complain at that. Relatively long putt there though to card the bogey. As I mentioned, it is back-to-back par 5s, and here we are, 499 yards, stroke index 2. Lovely view here. And we finally managed to hit one slightly more right. Started to figure that out in the latter stages of the round. Another wipey shot there with the 4-iron. But it got the job done. Left us within range. 9-iron in hand, but wind really caught hold of this one. Pulls it left. Probably didn't start it out well enough to the right anyway, but got the 9-iron in hand here. Going to try a bump and run. Don't usually play these kind of shots if I'm honest, but check this one out. Nestles in very close to the pin, and we're out of here with a par on stroke index 2. Hole 13, 312 yards. Fairway splits in two, where the Tennyson Trail dissects the two fairway sections. I've gone down the left hand side, gap wedge, pulled that to the left, trying not to short side myself down the right hand side. I short side myself down the left hand side, clip that over the top. Couldn't really have landed it any better other than getting it a bit more airborne. This putt unfortunately pulls up right of the hole, and we'll tap that in for a bogey. So the signature hole here at Freshwater, hole 14, downhill all the way, and I hit my probably worst shot on this hole in, I don't know, 6 months. Way out right, bumps it back onto the green here, which to be honest was a very good shot from the position that I found myself in, and I'm quite happy to check out of here with a 4 considering the wayward tee shot, but obviously that is another bogey. Coats on because it's getting a bit colder as we head into the par 3 15th here. Got the 6-iron in hand, and I pull that left. Back starting to feel a bit tweaky about now. Just remembering that we've already played 18 ahead of this 18. Try and fly this one down there with the wedge. Fortunately, it kicks on through the back. Very tough pin position this if you're short. That rolls on past a lot further than I really wanted it to, leaving us a tricky comebacker, and we leave that on the high side, ending up with another double bogey. Shake of the head in disapprovement of that. Tricky hole this one, hole 16, out of bounds down the right hand side, and the bailout is down the left hand side. A fairly decent drive, but it wasn't particularly long compared to where we can actually hit the ball on this hole. Been in the greenside bunker on a couple of occasions. Gap wedge here. Pity we weren't further to the right with the camera, because we got a huge slice of luck as I landed it on the top tier and it just rolled down to here, and we check out with a birdie. Lovely stuff. This camera angle shows you all you need to know about that tee shot and me capturing it. We then bump the shot here to the edge of the green, and unfortunately at this time in the day my iPhone said, "No mate, I've had enough," and checks out. So we don't get to see the putts here, but it was a 2-putt and it does end up in a bogey. Fortunately, I had got my power bank with me, so we are going to be able to see the remaining hole here. That is a very, very steered drive down the middle of the fairway. Got 6-iron in hand here, can't really go for the green, and I've obviously got the pit of despair in front of us, so I'm just trying to lay up, but pulled it left. A very tired shot, that one. 56-degree wedge in hand. Nice little bump and run, but we have bumped it past the flag. The comebacker here has to have the slope in consideration, and we did skirt the edge of the hole, and we are going to be checking out of here with a bogey. So all in all, checking in on the scorecard, front 9 we had those 4 pars. We only had one more par on the back 9, which was on the stroke index 2 par 5. We had that birdie on 16. So considering how tired I was throughout the course of this 18 holes, to have scored the way I did, I think is quite impressive. And we limited the amount of double bogeys on the back end of the round, which is obviously where a player at my current level is where you're going to make up your score. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have, don't forget to smash the like button. I think I learned a lot during the course of this round in terms of how my game is progressing at the moment, where the mistakes are manifesting, and I think it's only now a matter of time before we break 80. I hope you join me for when we do make that score, but for now, I'm out of here.